Gem in your house that you're not quite sure if it's worth a pretty penny or just pocket change. Well, our next guest is a New Haven native and is on the show. It's a big hit on Discovery's channel's Auction Kings.
She's here to help us know what that prized possession might be worth. Welcome antiques appraiser, Dr. Lori. How do we say your last name again?
Verderame.
We just went through that, but
We
that's why we call you
times.
Dr. Lori.
That's exactly why.
There
I
we
have to
go.
say,
Keep it simple.
Years in major museums, including the Yale Art Gallery, you know, I mean, people are like, keep it simple. So that's what we're going to do. Some tips about what goes out of your yard sale, what shouldn't go out of grandma's house.
Okay.
Right? What you should trash, what you should treasure, all that good stuff.
How did you become an expert in all this?
I have a PhD in art
PhD.
history from Penn State. I used to be a university professor, and I'm a museum professional. About, oh gosh, almost 20 years ago, I started appraising objects because everybody would ask me, what is this? I'm like, oh, I know what that is. And how much is it worth? Oh, I know how much that's worth.
Good trivia.
Yeah,
I
a lot
want
of fun.
you on my team.
And then auction
She's
things.
smart,
Oh yeah, I'm
yeah.
fun.
Right?
I'm
I bet you
a lot of
are.
fun at games. I like games. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the game of yard sales. Everybody's doing spring cleaning. You want to
Sure.
think about stuff. First thing, 3 objects should never go out of your house, Ryan. You know what
Okay.
they are?
No.
Fine art, furniture, precious metals, including jewelry.
Never.
Never.
Where should they go?
Ever.
Keep them in your
Hold
house?
on to it?
Keep them into the family, hand them down, you know, your
Forever.
friends for a long time because they'll increase in value.
Got
Okay.
it.
Okay, got it. Now, then there's the other stuff that you say, I gotta get rid of this, I gotta get
Yeah.
rid of that. Glass.
Tchotchkes.
Glass, usually inexpensive to make, usually inexpensive at value. It can go.
Okay, get rid of
See ya.
it.
Oh
Get rid
my
of that.
gosh, wow, what happened, Lori? Just got rid of that. Things that have been repainted. If you're not Picasso, don't repaint it, okay? This is a mechanical bank. Kind of fun, but you know what? Someone, Wilbur in the workshop, went and started painting it. And now the value has gone from $1,200 to about $6.
Wilbur.
Why'd they do that?
Why'd they do that? So
a shame.
don't be overzealous. Now, some repurposing
This is fun.
projects are great, you know, and when you repurpose, it's a lot of fun and you can get something cool, you know, but you want to make sure that you're not repurposing something that's valuable in its own right.
Got it.
Say you have some old rugs, right? You've got
It's
an
an
old rug.
antique.
Now this, yeah, antiques
Well, I
have
don't know if it's antique, but
100
it's
years old or more is antiques.
Okay, it's not antique.
So you're not,
So
we're all
no.
vintage, you know.
This is our acoustic cafe rug.
Okay,
I
well,
thought it looked familiar.
Yeah.
you wrapped it up. Well, let me tell you, first of all, not great condition. It's got to be in good shape to be valuable, okay? But one of the ways to tell if you have a good rug is to see whether or not the pattern is exactly the same on the back.
Huh.
One of the easiest tips of people who say, I didn't realize that about rugs. If that pattern is the same front and back, you probably have a well-made rug. So
this one?
yeah, so
well,
quality is important for establishing value. This, because of its conditions, probably worth about $50.
You've
but
ruined
in
it,
its-
Ryan.
Yeah.
We'll keep it here in studio.
Keep it here, have some coffee
It's close to
over
our
it.
heart.
Yeah. Other things you want to think about, the types of books. All of us have old books.
Sure.
Yeah.
The types of books that
about
shouldn't go out.
Cooking books?
Cookbooks.
Keep it?
Keep it.
Keep it.
I feel
Keep
like
it.
everyone has this book.
Yeah.
This
And
is
the-
a very classic one.
That's exactly
I have
right.
3.
Right?
Exactly, Teresa.
You do.
Because if you have the classic cookbooks, those are the ones that everybody goes back to. You know, like 141 in that cookbook is banana bread. My mother used to make it every all the time. And you know what? Everybody else's mother had it too. So remember, kitchen collectibles, particularly cookbooks, can be valuable.
Okay.
They have to be in good shape.
How about something like these little dishes
You
here?
take that one.
Okay.
You take that one.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you're looking at the front, turn it around to the back.
To the
It doesn't
back.
say anything on the
Nothing.
back.
I know. Now what do you do? That's why you need me.
Right.
So we call Dr. Lori.
Here's what we're doing. If you hold those up,
Yes.
what color is the back? Which one is
White.
the brighter, whiter clay?
This one
Is not the brighter, whiter
No,
clay.
It's not the brighter.
Okay,
This one
That's right.
is-
That is
Teresa's the
correct.
brighter, whiter clay. So you're all looking at sort of the superimposed image on the front, but I'm looking at the color on the back.
From the back.
Because that talks to you about the clay. And I want you to get tips, you know, news you can use on News Channel 8.
Look at
I
that.
want you to
She's
get
good.
tips, right?
what we like.
So this is what you're thinking about. You're looking here to say, oh, this is a transferware image. Everybody does this. Very inexpensive process to do. Fine.
Okay.
Also remember, ashtrays are out because smoking isn't as popular
Right,
as it
not
was.
cool.
Value on this one, about $4. Value on this one, about $40.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm going to take this
oh,
one.
come on.
then.
You can't do that to
Sorry,
me.
Ryan. What is this?
Okay, now this is a scrapbook. You know, this is a scrapbook, and a lot of people have our scrapbooks, and we're saying, oh, you know, these are great scrapbooks, and we want to hold on to them. Don't divorce everything out of an old scrapbook, even though all of the paper inside is acidic. The acid will damage all of this, but basically, instead of you cutting all this apart, put pieces of acid-free paper in between your old scrapbooks, and you will preserve the old scrapbooks. As
That's something you
opposed to
should
doing-
keep, right? I
That's
mean,
something you
yeah,
should keep,
it's-
and not all that valuable other than sentimental.
memorable, sure.
Memorable.
How about
Okay.
this little shoe gizmo?
Yeah, would you need this for any reason at all?
Yeah, to shine my shoes.
You're going to really use
I don't
this
think
to
she
shine your
used it,
shoes.
right?
They don't make them, but that's
Yeah.
our sales manager, Rich Vedders. I
Thinks it's
sneak into
great,
his office
right?
and I
Oh,
use
do
it
you?
once in a while. Well, now
This
he
is
knows.
what he does
I guess,
on the
now.
side.
He's
Teresa.
very busy,
Yeah.
Lori.
Very
Dr. Lori,
unusual.
very busy.
Okay, all right. So this particular piece dates to about the 1950s, and value on that's about $75.
That's kind of
Okay, and
nifty.
functional objects. Functional objects usually not worth too much. But here's a functional object that we all need, our Duff beer.
Is that from The
Yes.
Simpsons?
Falls into more than one category.
Right? Oh.
Yeah, from The
Collectible.
Simpsons. Collectible, it's a TV show. It also has to do with beer, Anna. So anytime your antique falls into more than one category, all of a sudden you go, oh, I can attract more buyers to that
So
from all these categories.
my price went up.
Your price went up to about $175.
Wow.
I'm keeping this one. Thank you.
Don't
So
open
that's
it.
not for the yard sale.
That's true.
Okay.
Good point.
Then you've got, of course, sports memorabilia. You'd probably be surprised to know that about 95% of sports collectibles are fakes.
Oh,
kidding.
disappointing.
How about this New Haven Ravens
So be
hat? I
careful.
mean,
Now
this
that's
is,
worth a lot because I live New Haven. But
Yeah.
these particular pieces you want to think about. First of all, if you have covers, for example, from magazines of the great running backs of the 1970s, those kinds of things are going to be popular. But some of the most popular things are, of course, autograph
Autographs.
signatures. It's not so easy as just going online and trying to match it up and say that looks like that guy's autograph. This is Joe Namath's autograph, of course. The Jets, number 12. This particular piece is worth about $500.
Wow.
Okay, because it's a vintage piece.
Cool.
It's got the authentic autograph, and it's been preserved well.
Very nice.
The other thing I want you to think about with your yard sale, everybody's looking at mid-century modern furniture, right? So these pieces that are now new, but look in the mid-century or 1950s, 1960s style of modern furniture, some of the attributes you want to think about.
Uh-oh,
Things
here we
like,
go.
I'm moving now, look out guys.
Moving.
All right, so you want to think about chrome, you want to think about actual vinyl, not leather, because
Yeah.
usually it's vinyl, but you want to think about these kinds of elements. These are very
Keep it
popular
or sell
now.
it. Keep it or sell it.
Keep it.
Keep it.
Oh,
All
it
right.
never goes out. And then remember,
Well-
the fastest thing you want to do, one last point, is Victorian pieces, things like wicker. Wicker's more popular in the summer, so sell it now rather than in the winter. You got to know when to sell,
All right.
and you got to know
I like
what's
that.
it worth before you let it go.
Dr. Lori, please head on over to our CT Style Craigslist. We're selling this wicker right now, so you guys can buy it online. Just kidding. Make sure you guys
Lori,
check
you
it
are
out
fascinating.
online. Fun.
I can show you how to
Thank you.
sell it at drloriv.com. It's so nice to be home in New Haven.
Yes,
Aw,
welcome
thank
home.
you for
Thank you, guys.
being
Great to
Thank
here
have
with
you.
us.
More fun coming up here on Style. We're going to tell you how